can we see on this one? This is fun. And this one, I cannot tell you if it's a vein or an artery. What's the vessel? So there's the SVC. The SVC is made up of, now I can tell you veins. What are these veins called? Brachiocephalic. Brachiocephalic veins. They are fed by, who's this one going up? And who's this one going sideways?
Subclavian.
Subclavian, perfect. All right, now we're gonna say there's one more. I'll fix that in a minute. Who's the vein coming in from the back? Azygos. Perfect. Okay.
Is that the subclavian artery also on the outside?
Yep, we're getting to it. You are correct. So who's this? Aorta. What's this first part called?
Ascending.
So this is our ascending. What two arteries come off here?
Left and right coronary.
So here's our right coronary, and here is our left coronary. Everybody see the little guy? Okay. So we'll run through the circulation on the heart real quickly. Let's take the left. The left coronary comes out and gives me this artery going down the front. Anterior interventricular. It also gives me this artery we see running under the auricle and around to the back. Who is this? Circumflex. And then off the circumflex, who is this? Which marginal? Obtuse or left? Yes, perfect. All right, off the right, we're ignoring these guys up here. Who is this? Right marginal or acute marginal. This continues around as the right coronary still and gives off this guy. Posterior interventricular, okay. Now that we've done the arteries, who's the vein running with the posterior interventricular?
Middle or me?
Middle cardiac, going into what's this huge vein right here?
Coronary sinus.
Coronary sinus. Right, so there's the middle, who's this? What little vein is this? Going along with the right marginal is a small cardiac. Who are these?
Anterior.
Those are the anterior cardiac, and that gets us back to the front. And who's this big guy? Great cardiac vein. Okay.
What were the anterior?
Anterior right here.
Oh, just okay.
These are the ones that go right into the right atrium by themselves. They don't trail back to the coronary sinus. Okay. All right.
Those are the anterior, same thing. Same thing as the anterior. These up here.
These both are the anterior cardiac veins. Yeah, they're continuing right in through here. Yes, on this model. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, that's the ascending. What do we call this part?
Aortic arch.
Aortic arch. What's the first branch off of it? Brachiocephalic trunk. What's the second branch?
Left common carotid.
Left common carotid, and the third? Left subclavian. Okay, the brachiocephalic branches into so right subclavian and right common carotid. And just to point out, this one in the middle is the inferior thyroid vein. You're not responsible for it. We do it in head and neck. Okay. All right, that leaves us to this. Who's this? Pulmonary trunk, which will come back here and divide into right and left pulmonary arteries. Then we see coming back in, who are these red guys? The pulmonary veins. All right. And there's a cute little structure right here between the pulmonary trunk and the aorta. I promised you this would be one that could be tagged. Ligamentum arteriosum, exactly. So we're gonna take, right here we see the nerves coming down. Do you see all of these nerves right here on the ascending and the arch of the aorta? That's your cardiac plexus. Okay. Now this big nerve that's not really part of the plexus is coming back, and right here at the ligamentum arteriosum, it splits. And one branch is going forward towards the ligamentum arteriosum under the aorta, and the other branch is going just along the descending aorta to try to get to the esophagus. So this anterior branch is the recurrent laryngeal. The posterior branch is the anterior esophageal trunk. And you find them because of, so ligamentum arteriosum, recurrent anterior esophageal. Ligamentum arteriosum, recurrent laryngeal, anterior esophageal. Okay. Now, that's not all this heart has to offer. We have more fun. Let's play. Let's look at the back, right? If all of this was with the left vagus, then who is this? Right vagus. What do we call it right here where it starts enveloping the esophagus?
Posterior esophageal.
Posterior esophageal trunk. So what's this big pink thing with the red dot? These dots are everywhere. This is the esophagus, right? What's the gray thing? There's the trachea. Just out of curiosity, do you know what this little green thing is? What duct?
Oh, what is it?
Remember, we have a vagus,
What is that? Azygos.
we have the azygos, we have the thoracic duct. Okay, so there's our thoracic duct coming up and heading over, and he's actually going to, like all good models should, he's inserting between the left subclavian and the left internal jugular, like all the books tell you it should. Okay. All right, so anything more fun on here? That's about it. Apparently somebody wanted the primary bronchus there. All right, so what more is on this model? God, there's just too many for just two of these. What are these? The auricles. Now, when I open up the auricles, I'm going to see a lot of stuff on the right side more than the left side. So we're going to go over to the left side real quick. Do you see this number 92? That is your fossa secunda. Fingerprint right there. That is fossa secunda. This is your left atrioventricular valve, and that's everything interesting in him. Okay? In the auricle, you can see pectinate muscles. The right side, much more interesting. First off, we see right here this little spider-looking thing, number 86. That's your SA node. Right next to that is the crista terminalis. Okay. Below the crista terminalis, we see pectinate muscles. If we look down in here, there's another little spider right by the valve. That's your AV node. Okay. And then right over here, number 81, wasn't it? Yeah. The 81 right there is your fossa ovalis. Fossa ovalis, excuse me. Ovalis. And then we see the tricuspid valve. All right. That's what you can see on this model for the atria. Not a lot. Ventricles. Okay. What's the muscle in the back wall? Trabeculae carnae. What are these little ones that look like some kind of cow's teat or... Yeah, those are the papillaries. Now, on this model, do you see how 63 goes from here over to here? Septo-marginal trabeculae. This is your moderator band. If I tagged it, I would put a sticker on each side so you could put it together. Okay? All right. What are these little things supposed to be? Chordae tendineae. Exactly. Where do they attach? Papillary muscles. All right. What's this outer white layer? Epicardium. What's the brown?
Myocardium.
Myocardium. So what's the nice kind of, what is that? Kind of a coral salmon maybe? What's the inside layer?
Endocardium.
The endocardium. What's this smooth area right here and right here? You're wasting your video time. Conus, right, conus arteriosus. Conus arteriosus. It's right here and right here. So when you put it together, it's a smooth area right in front of the valve, going to the pulmonary trunk. So what is this valve? Which one?
Aortic.
Or pulmonary.
That's the pulmonary semilunar. Do you see this one way back here? That's the aortic. He's all the way in the back. And you can always kind of put it together to trace it if you need. So if we look at them here, pulmonaries in front, aortic's in back. Ta-da! That's the heart.